All right, so we're going to come back for the timing drills. The timing drills this week are actually both kicking techniques. And we did the back leg roundhouse and the back leg roundhouse high-low last week. So this week is the front leg roundhouse. Now, remember when I said when you were doing the back leg roundhouse, you had to be in open stance. Otherwise, you're going to kick the person in the back. Well, that is a legal target for Olympic sparring. It's not a legal target in point sparring. And the back leg roundhouse, you're almost always in open stance when you do this. So now we're going to change it, and we're going to do front leg roundhouse, and this is in a closed stance. And so what we want to do here is we want it to be quick. If you want to, you can already turn the foot and you just rock back and kick.
Right in your stomach.
Yep.
Comes a little low.
So was it? And so with the front leg, it's speed. It's like a jab. We call it a foot jab. Because you're just lightly touching. Because what that does most of the time in Olympic sparring is that front leg roundhouse really only sets up a counter, like a back leg roundhouse, side kick. You know, I can come in, lightly touch, and then go into a side kick. It's usually not going to be just the kick itself. It won't score in Olympic. It's too light. It will score in point. So this is a very valid technique for point, and it's great for point because it's quick. If you're sitting there and they're expecting a side kick, and you fire in a front leg roundhouse, if it's competent judging, you should get your points. Okay? Again, important thing, you saw light touch. Both partners have to tighten their stomach. We're in a closed sparring stance, facing opposite directions. Our hands are up, but we're giving each other a good target. And you can be in, for this, you're normally in a side fighting stance, I would call this. Okay? You're not looking where you're kicking. Eventually, I'll show you how to look where you're kicking to throw people off when you're going to kick somewhere else. But for the timing drills, we don't want to look where we're kicking. We're looking eye to eye when we're with our partners. It's a light touch. Above the waist. If your partner has a problem getting the kick above the waist, you might want to squat a little bit. Did I miss anything else on that one?
I think the rule about consistency when you have to hit the same part on both sides.
I knew I wasn't getting all five. That's why it's good to have a partner. You want to consistently hit the same spot. So I don't want to come here one time, the knee the next time, the face the next time. And if you kick somebody in the face, they might get a little cross like that. And depending on who you're working with, that might be a self-correcting problem. So you don't want to be slapping people in the face, even with a weaker kick like the front side kick. So, consistency. So if you start there, start there. Now, we have some students who have some very good flexibility, and they're very good at this kick. But I have to remind them, it is to the abdomen. Even if you can consistently kick to the chest, I don't want you to kick somebody in the chest. Because unless they lift weights, they can't tighten their chest. So it's bam! After about 3 kicks like that, they're getting a little cross. Okay? So it's to the abdomen. If you're the one taking the kick, tighten it. Now we're going to go on to the crescent kicks. And for the crescent kicks, basically you're going to do the kicks. We're actually going to be in either a front stance or a fighting stance, either one. Now, it's not so much that we're in an open or closed stance. Since we're facing each other forward, you could call this a closed stance because we're going the opposite way. But what is important for this is I know which leg he's going to kick with because we want the arm going in the way that it's naturally bends. We don't want it going back this way and putting all that stress on the rotor cuff muscle underneath your deltoid.
You want your arm to fold into your center line. So if it's on this side, it goes this way. If it's on this side, it goes this way.
Yeah. The arm goes the way nature intended for it to go. It doesn't go opposite like that. So you'll see what I mean here in a minute. So I want you to do back leg inside crescent. Kick where you're supposed to. Good. All right. Now you are going to do back leg crescent. I'm sorry, I screwed you up. Back leg outside crescent. There we go. Make sure they know what you're doing or your arm will go the wrong way. We're going to leave that in there so you realize that everybody can screw up occasionally. And I didn't give them the proper directions. Switch your feet. All right. So now I want inside crescent. Okay. Now I want outside crescent. Good. 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 All right. So you see, when he went to do the outside, I switched arms. So he would be bending my arm in this way. When he was doing inside, I was using this arm. Okay. So it's incumbent on you as the uke, or what are we calling it this week? Uke. All right. It's your job as the uke to know what they're going to throw and where your arm needs to be. Because if you're dependent upon your partner to do it, they might tell you the wrong thing and then your arm gets hurt. So it's your responsibility as you practice is to know which hand you should put out for what. The partner will hit the hand. They're supposed to hit the hand. Now, I was actually doing something wrong in this one. The hand should be closer to the body. I had my hand out here. You should only do that when you're working with white belts, yellow belts. I shouldn't have been doing that with Mr. Trey.
It's also technically supposed to be head height, but that's a flexibility thing on my part.
But it's a control thing. I should be in closer. And at his level, I should be like right here. So I was actually doing that incorrectly. You want to suck that arm in. And the higher the rank, the closer that gets to you. You're not looking, he's not looking at my hand, he's looking at my eyes. It's a complete kick that he recoils and puts back behind him. And for this, you're going to do 10 of each kick with each leg. So that means 10 inside, 10 outside with this leg, 10 inside, 10 outside with that leg. 40. 4 times 10 is 40. There's your math lesson for today. On the front leg roundhouse, I want 20 each leg. 20 with the right, 20 with the left. Again, if you can do math, that's 40. So we're going to do 40 of each of those. So now we're going to get to the self-defenses. So last week, I showed you 4 more, which brought you up to 12. And that's what you actually need for a blue tip. So if you've been paying attention, you already have the 12 you need to know. But as I've always told you, it is best for you, don't care how you hold it. It's a stick, not necessarily a cane. So, I don't care how many you're supposed to know. If you're supposed to know 12, I'd know 16 or 20. Because when you get up and you're testing, a lot of times self-defense is towards the end of the test, right around forms, unless we change stuff up, and we have been known to change stuff up. You're going to be later in your testing, you're going to be physically and mentally tired. And that's when you start to forget things that you think you know like the back of your hand. So you really want to know an additional at least 4, I like 6 to 8 at each rank, so you're not going to be standing there going, and I get tired of waiting until your partner to choke. So you better know some choking. Okay, so what Trey's going to do is Trey's going to raise this stick. This is not necessarily a cane. It could be any kind of stick weapon. So, if I stay here, I'm a dead duck. Start to come forward, okay? Once he gets here, I'm in a real bad way. So what I really want to do, I want to get him here. I want to get him here before he's got any power to try to come forward with that. So, if he's going to clunk me with that stick, he's not going to be, he's not going to walk around like this, okay? He's probably going to have it like this, and when he goes to hit me, he's going to come like this. That's my window of opportunity. No. There we go. That's my window of opportunity. Okay. So you'll notice, and I do a little bit, one other thing I'm going to show you here. But I just want to show you. The first thing I did, slow. The first thing I didn't come in like this. Because I'm right in his wheelhouse, 50-50.
And you're still in the line of attack.
Yep. So, what do good martial arts do? When he pulls that back to hit me, Look at where I'm at. So we're gonna switch, so you're gonna see everything that I'm doing. But look at how deep I am. And I'm off at an angle. I'm over here now.
So I can't get him.
There's not many weapons he's got that are gonna reach me.
Other foot's blocked by the other one, and he's out of range of the stick, so even if he wasn't holding hard enough, I can't really swing at him from here.
Right. So, flip around. I want to show you exactly what I'm doing before I do the last move. So as soon as he starts to go, I engage. I eat up all his energy and I come here. Now, you'll notice I'm already reaching for the cane because I know what I want to do. Okay? No. We got to be at the camera. Okay? So you've seen I've trapped here in a monkey grip and I'm already grabbing this. But, I don't know if you can tell, I've already also got his elbow locked underneath my shoulder. Okay? Because if I wanted to, I could take this into a throw. But all I want to do is disengage the weapon. Okay, so we're going to do this one more time. As soon as he goes up, I eat it up, take it out. Now I've got the weapon and I can do whatever I want with it. Okay, so that's the first self-defense. This is what we call attacker armed with a stick. Now, if you see somebody walking the streets like this, don't go near them. Avoid them, okay? So now, I'm a little old man, and Trey has decided that he's going to come up and he's going to grab me in a lapel grab or a choke. Okay, so first thing, he's choked. Tighten the neck. Now, remember I told you, don't do this with your arm, but I like to do this with the stick. And what it is, if you let go for a second, Trey, I'll show you. It's rowing a boat. So you're using your big back muscles against his small arm choking muscles.
This also works because the cane being as thin as it is ends up pinching a lot of nerves in your elbow. Yeah. So this is much more effective than trying to use raw muscle.
I don't know if the camera can catch it, but Trey's arm is red right here from where I just did that. So you get it in here, right at the elbow, and you row in. And then, of course, what comes in must go out. And when you push them back out, you let that cane slide right up to the throat area. Remember, this person is choking you. We're not going to assume they're playing around. We're going to assume it's a very, very serious self-defense. Okay? Those are the two with the cane. One defending against the stick, one using the cane to defend yourself. Okay. So, I'm walking up, and all of a sudden, Mr. Trey goes behind his back. Okay? Now, I don't care if there's a gun back there or a knife. Whenever anybody goes back like that, that is not a good deal. And playtime is pretty much over. So again, the first thing I'm going to do when I see him do this is I grab his shoulder and come in. Okay? Look at where my feet are. So this hand is here and this hand comes on top of it. He's engaged with the weapon behind his back. So when I do this, almost everybody I've ever done this to, it puts so much pressure on the shoulder and elbow that they drop whatever in that hand. Okay? So the ideal way to do this, as soon as you see that, you react. Okay? And you can see I got his arm trapped here. Now, this is a pretty serious thing. And a lot of times, you may go through the wrong way. So you're nervous, you see this, oh, I've done this 100 times, but I went through with the wrong arm. And now I really don't have anything holding him. So the first thing when I realized I went in with the wrong arm, start the recovery. Suck that arm into you as close as you possibly can, and wrist control. So they're going to be fidgeting with the whatever weapon they were trying to get, so you get wrist control right away. Then you turn, put the same kind of pressure before, it's just coming from a different angle. Now, you can kick, you can do whatever you want. Make sure you get rid of the weapon. So, on a lot of these, what I like to do, when I go through here and I take them down, after I knee them, I come in at the side onto this knee. Okay? I'll tell people a lot of times, hit the knee. Because if you disable the knee, they can't chase you and come after you. Because remember, the goal of self-defense is not to win. It is to get away. I will hammer that into your head for as long as you're in class. You're not trying to win, you're trying to get away. Trey can probably win. 10 years ago, I would have won. Now, I'll win sometimes. Some guys are just too young for me to mess with anymore. But it should never be about winning, because you're not always going to be 23, well trained, and ready to deal with these issues. You're eventually going to get older. You know, at 51, I can't do the things that I did at 40. You're going to get weaker, and you may have to rely on a weapon. You may have to rely on something like a cane, even when you're younger. Why do you think policemen have those intermediate weapons? Because not everybody can handle someone just hand to hand, okay? So your goal is not to win, it is to get away. So the only thing we've got left for this week is your form, and we've done build up, we've done high rep, and we have done the walkthrough. So now I want to do build up for, I actually want to do build up for Kicho Il, the very first form. Everybody should know this one. So what you're going to do for build up is you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to go back and we're going to put them together. 1, 2. Back to the center. 1, 2. Back to center. So you're going to do 5. Then you're going to add the next move, and you're going to do that 5 times. And then you're going to do the fourth move 5 times. I'm sorry. You're going to add the third move 5 times. And then you're going to do the whole thing up to 3 5 times. Then you add 4 5 times. Then you go 1 through 4 5 times. And you do that all the way through the form. It's about a 30 to 40 minute workout. It'll be good cardio, and it will really get you your Kicho Il crisp. Why should you get your Kicho Il crisp? Because the basics are what will take you through your martial arts career, and don't ever think that Kicho Il is below you as a martial artist. So that's your homework assignment for this week. Now go practice.